The call came in just before sunset. A neighbor, walking her dog, said she heard a single gunshot echo from the Harper residence. Then a scream roar, primal, when officers arrived at the modest two-story colonial house at 43 Woodlawn Drive. The front door was ajar. Inside, 38-year-old Daniel Harper lay slumped on the living room floor, a bullet wound in his chest, his lifeless eyes staring up at the ceiling fan still spinning slowly overhead. Standing over his body, phone in hand, was his wife, Lila Harper. Her face was streaked with tears. Her right hand trembled, her knuckles white, and on the floor beside her a Smith & Wesson revolver. Daniel and Lila had moved to Norwood just 3 years earlier. To their neighbors, they were the picture of suburban success. He was a respected high school biology teacher, beloved by students. She was a freelance illustrator who worked from home and baked banana bread for the block. They were quiet, friendly, but never intrusive, the kind of couple people noticed only in passing, not because they were loud or flashy, but because they looked happy. But appearances have a way of lying. Daniel's death sent ripples through the town. The news spread fast. Teacher found shot dead in his home. But even faster were the whispers. Was it a break-in, suicide, or did Lila do it? Detective Sarah Molina had worked homicide in Delaware County for 12 years. She'd seen grieving spouses before. Some collapsed, some screamed, some shot down completely. Lila, she cried, but something about the way she answered questions made Sarah pause. I just found him like that, Lila said between sobs. Did you hear the shot? No, I was upstairs in the shower. You didn't hear a gun go off? No, maybe. Maybe I had music on. I don't remember. The inconsistencies started small. She said she was in the shower, but her hair was dry. She claimed she found the front door wide open, but there were no signs of forced entry. The weapon, registered to Daniel, wiped clean of prints. The coroner determined time of death as between 6:30 and 6:40 p.m. Neighbors' ring camera showed no one entering or leaving the house in that window. No signs of struggle, nothing missing, no forced entry. So how did someone get in, kill Daniel, and vanish in a tightly packed neighborhood without being seen? Lila's studio was a small, sunlit room at the back of the house. The officers almost missed the sketchpad buried beneath a pile of art books. But when they opened it, they found something strange. Dozens of sketches, all of the same man. Not Daniel. This man was younger, rougher tattooed. Smirking on the last page was a single sentence, scrawled like a diary confession. He said he'd kill him. I didn't think he meant it. Lila's phone records revealed late-night texts with a contact named Jay. Digging further, detectives identified him as Jason Mendez, a 29-year-old ex-con from Philadelphia, with a history of domestic violence and drug arrests. When brought in for questioning, Jason denied knowing anything about Daniel's death. I haven't talked to her in weeks, he said. We found recent texts. So what? She needed someone to talk to. I never even met her husband, but GPS data told a different story, placing Jason's phone just 3 blocks from the Harpers' house the night of the murder. As investigators dug deeper into the Harper household, the cracks began to show. Daniel's journal, kept digitally in a private folder on his laptop, revealed a man unraveling. He suspected Lila was cheating. He detailed arguments, moments of jealousy, and even hints of abuse. She thinks I'm boring, safe, predictable. She wants danger. I can feel her pulling away. Found a burner phone in her art drawer today. Didn't confront her. Not yet. I'm scared I'll come home one day and she'll be gone. Then, 2 weeks before his death, she said something strange today. Sometimes I wonder what life would be like if you weren't around. She laughed after, but it didn't feel like a joke. The community clung to the idea that Daniel's death was a tragic home invasion gone wrong. but the evidence was stacking high against Lila and her mysterious Jay. Then came the twist. A pawn shop in West Philly reported a man trying to sell a Rolex identical to the one Daniel always wore. The shop owner remembered the man's nervous energy, said he needed money for a lawyer, he recalled. Surveillance footage confirmed it. Jason Mendez. Under pressure, Jason cracked, but what he said turned the case on its head. She told me he hit her, said she was scared, said if I loved her, I'd make sure he couldn't hurt her anymore. She left the back door open, said she'd be in the shower. She said she didn't want to know how, just that it was done. Jason claimed Lila orchestrated everything, manipulation layered with emotional abuse. He didn't just do it for her. He believed he was saving her. The trial of Lila Harper and Jason Mendez became national news. Lila maintained her innocence, painted herself as a victim of Jason's obsession. Her defense claimed he acted alone, twisting her words into motive. Jason, however, testified in chilling detail about their plan, the late-night conversations, the promises, the what-if fantasies that turned real. The prosecution brought the journal entries, the sketches, the phone records, and then the final blow. A jailhouse call between Lila and her sister, recorded without her knowledge. He said too much. I should have kept my mouth shut. This was never the plan. Both were convicted. Jason Mendez received 35 years for second-degree murder. Lila Harper was sentenced to life without parole. Woodlawn Drive never quite recovered. The house sat empty for months before being sold at a loss. Neighbors still talk about the Harper house, some with sadness, others with suspicion. Detective Molina, in a local podcast interview, said it best. This wasn't a story about passion. It was about control. A woman who wanted a different life, a man desperate to please her, and another who didn't see he was being used until it was too late. Daniel Harper's students planted a tree in his honor behind the high school. Every October, they gather quietly beneath it, and every October, a single white rose is placed on the steps of 43 Woodlawn Drive, no one knows by whom. This wasn't a love triangle. It was a psychological chess game, one where the queen sacrificed the king to win her freedom. Detective Sarah Molina. Not every monster wears a mask. Some wear wedding rings.